Let her rip. 2001 is passing into history. And the world begins celebrating the arrival of the brand new 2002. In New York, revelers are ready to party and to remember the thousands lost in the attack on America. We'll show you some of the newest weapons in the war against terror. And Eye on America, friendship put to the test. How Europe stood up for America the year we changed.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
And good evening. Dan is off tonight. I'm Russ Mitchell. A year America will never forget is rapidly coming to an end. Our odyssey through 2001 is going to be over in just a few short hours, and many would say the old year is leaving not a moment too soon. The new year has already arrived in some parts of planet Earth. CBS News correspondent Tom Fenton begins our coverage this evening of the world premiere of 2002.
5. As always, the New Year's celebration began on the other side of the world. Australia kicked off the midnight revelry with massive fireworks on the harbour front in Sydney. The famous bridge silhouetted against the smoke. But this time, there was a grim irony in the smoke. The city has been surrounded by raging bushfires for days, and many may have wondered if they hadn't had enough smoke for 1 year. In China, the home of fireworks, the set-piece explosions were almost as big. Buoyed up by a surging economy, China's rich economic zone next to Hong Kong also launched a sky full of fireworks. There were few hints of the horrors of the year 2001, but monks in Tokyo, to the sound of 108 gongs, prayed for the departing year and symbolically burnt and purified its passing. Japan and South Korea, excited at the prospect of co-hosting the Soccer World Cup in 2002, also lit the sky with fire. But those who weren't burning money spent it and counted it. Belgium and Germany were busy spending francs and Deutschmarks to beat the midnight deadline for the arrival of the new euro currency. And in Greece, they were spending drachmas as fast as they could too. 300 million people in 12 European countries will be saying goodbye to their own historic currencies, and with the arrival of the new year, will find themselves bound together with the new common euro money.
If you look to the future, this brings a sense of identity that will change all the European environment.
Paris provided its usual splendor, although the French and Italians, always more careful with cash, were looking at the new European money and hoping they could get used to it. Midnight passed just over half an hour ago across the Channel, and here in London, just across the Thames, Big Ben is limbering up the great chimes of midnight. But a combination of heavy security and cold is expected to keep most of the festivities off the streets. Tom Fenton, CBS News, London.
Of course, New York's Times Square is the undisputed, if unofficial, capital of New Year's Eve. But it's different this year. Even as the countdown goes on, even as the ball drops, recovery workers will be searching ground zero for victims of September 11th. CBS's Mika Brzezinski is in Times Square for the beginning of a new year in New York. Good evening, Mika.
Good evening, Russ. With 500,000 people expected to watch the ball drop tonight, security here at Times Square is as elaborate as the celebration itself. The theme tonight is patriotism, and the revelers who came here to celebrate, defiant.
Checkpoints further up. If you want to go to Times Square area, move up to 49th Street.
There is no getting into Times Square tonight without passing through the frozen zone first. Nothing to do with the bone-chilling temperatures, everything to do with the more intense security here than during the Millennium celebration 2 years ago.
Security tonight in the wake of 9/11 will be tight. The police department will be out here in force. They will be checking backpacks. They will be looking for alcohol. They have been checking cars. They're very vigilant.
But revelers don't seem to mind the searches, metal detectors, and blocked streets.
We don't let of what's going on taint our event because we're strong people. We can handle any situation.
Manhole covers are sealed. No trash cans, no parking. While sharpshooters watch from above, the air will be tested for chemical agents, and officers are equipped with high-tech sensors to detect radioactivity.
Special efforts have been made to seal off the area from anybody that might want to come in with any kind of a device.
Linda Dean and her daughters, Katie and Elizabeth, came from Fairfax, Virginia.
I wasn't nervous until about a week ago. I thought, but decided to come anyway. Happy New Year!
September 11th hangs over this event. Red, white, and blue have become the New Year's colors. The Times Square ball is engraved with dedications to those who were lost. It's why some camped out since 5 this morning.
I'm just an old softie, but I feel like since 9/11, these are my people, and I just love them.
This celebration has been held for 98 years now. Another new twist this year, the new mayor of New York will be sworn in 2 minutes after midnight right here in Times Square. Mayor Rudy Giuliani officially steps down tonight. Russ.
Nikki Brzezinski in Times Square. Thank you very much. In the war against the terrorists who attacked America, there are reports this evening that U.S. Marines in Afghanistan have joined the hunt for the leader of the Taliban, Mullah Muhammad Omar. Dozens of Marines in full combat gear took off by helicopter from their base at Kandahar. They're believed to be headed toward mountains where Omar is suspected of hiding. The Pentagon tonight denied accusations by tribal leaders that a weekend U.S. airstrike in a village in eastern Afghanistan killed more than 100 civilians. The U.S. said the compound was used by al-Qaeda and Taliban fighters. Home in Crawford, Texas for the holidays, President Bush today named Afghan-born Zalmay Khalilzad of the National Security Council to be the special U.S. envoy to the new government in Kabul. Mr. Bush also praised Pakistan for, as he put it, cracking down hard on Islamic extremists, blamed by India for the recent terror attacks in the Indian parliament. CBS's Lee Cowan on the Pakistan-Indian border reports this evening the crackdown may help ease the dangerous confrontation between these two nuclear powers over disputed Kashmir.
Today, tensions along an already tense border boiled over again. This time not with those urging war, but instead urging peace. For hundreds of Pakistani demonstrators, the goal was to march all the way up to the Indian border, shouting the only war they favor is the war on terror itself. They never made it, blocked instead by baton-wielding Pakistani police, intent on preserving this. The nightly ceremonial flag lowering at the India-Pakistan border crossing, where just feet away from their would-be enemies, two armies play out a ritual. But inside the disputed territory of Kashmir, it was anything but ceremony. The latest battle, a 10-hour marathon between Indian forces and Kashmiri militants that left 8 dead. Just the kind of extremist India blames for attacking its parliament earlier this month. Late last night, Pakistan arrested the leader of one such group, calling the capture of Hafez Saeed the most significant break so far. India thought so too. Its Foreign Affairs Commissioner says more steps against cross-border terrorism may diffuse the crisis.
If this information is confirmed, then it is a step forward in the correct direction.
The arrest did little to calm fears here at the border. Military checkpoints have now been set up for miles, and tonight at sundown, the gates of the border will be sealed. So this is how many Pakistanis rang in the new year, saying goodbye to friends and family on the last train allowed to cross the border into India. Tonight, those on both sides of the border are wondering if the new year will reunite them in peace or divide them by war. Lee Cowan, CBS News at the Pakistan-India border.
The haze of smoke that shrouded the New Year's fireworks in Sydney, Australia, came from a plague of brush fires just outside the city. Light rain did little to stop dozens of brush fires in New South Wales, Australia's most populous state. Firefighters tried to control flames 100 feet high and evacuated residents of one threatened town in the hills outside Sydney. Brush fires have destroyed about 150 homes and burned thousands of acres of forest and farmland. In South Africa, at least 47 members of an extended family were killed and more than 70 injured when their truck crashed after the driver lost control going down a hill. The open truck was packed with more than 120 people on an annual pilgrimage to family graves. Officials in Peru say some remains may never be found from the horrific weekend fire in downtown Lima. At least 282 people are known dead, but the toll is expected to pass 300. The fire erupted in a street lined with stands selling New Year's fireworks, and the flames quickly spread through a 4-block area. Deepening economic and now political chaos in Argentina, the third president in 10 days, Adolfo Rodriguez Sá, resigned today, and the government suspended elections scheduled for March. At least 28 people have died in riots over tough austerity measures. Wall Street is certainly hoping the U.S. economy makes a comeback next year. Stocks ended this year far below where they began. On this last day of trading, the Dow shed another 115 points, while the NASDAQ dropped 36. So for 2001, the Dow is down 7%, the NASDAQ down 21%, the second straight negative year for the two indices. Coming up next in the CBS Evening News this New Year's Eve, ensuring U.S. ports are safe harbors protected from terrorism. And the new year brings new hope for the women of post-Taliban Afghanistan.
Thinking about Viagra? It's now available in a free 6-pill sample pack.
6? That's my number.
So get in the driver's seat and ask about the free Viagra sample pack.
Get to your doctor for a checkup and find out if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
For more information, race over to Viagra.com.
It seems like only yesterday. When I started skating at 8 years old, I never thought I'd experience the thrill of winning a medal. With all the great memories has come another thing I thought I'd never experience, the pain of osteoarthritis.
Vioxx is here, a prescription medicine for osteoarthritis pain. With one little pill a day, Vioxx can provide powerful 24-hour relief. Vioxx specifically targets only the COX-2 enzyme, a key source of arthritis pain. People with allergic reactions such as asthma to aspirin or other arthritis medicines should not take Vioxx. In rare cases, serious stomach problems such as bleeding can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. For more information, talk to your doctor about once daily Vioxx for the relief of osteoarthritis pain.
Perhaps my biggest victory is to be able to plan my day around my life instead of my pain.
Ask your doctor if Vioxx is right for you. Vioxx for everyday victories.
Old langxiety this New Year's Eve has many cities and towns taking extra precautions, but Homeland Security does not stop at Land's End. Sandra Hughes reports on waves of concern over securing the nation's ports against terror and what the government is and is not doing about it.
Prowling the deck of this Mexico-bound cruise ship are the newest weapons in the war against terror.
We're looking at passengers. We go into restaurants, even if the behind doors, we'll still check and see if anything suspicious arises.
They're sea marshals, Coast Guard reservists called up to active duty to protect the nation's ships and ports.
First thing we do when we come on, we check all the engineering spaces and make a sweep. We're looking for anything out of the ordinary.
Anything or anyone who may turn a cargo or cruise ship into a weapon. The cruise ships are considered most vulnerable because they carry thousands of people. Each is now escorted into and out of port.
They give a measure of security we don't have before, especially they patrol, as you can see, there is a patrol boat over there. They've been watching us since this morning.
Before the Sea Marshal program, a ship like this could be all the way into port before encountering any law enforcement. By then, if a ship had been commandeered by a terrorist, it would be too late.
If they sank it in this channel, not only do you have the passengers on board the ship, but loss of life would be extreme and the loss of economy would be extreme.
But even with the pilot Sea Marshal program on the West Coast and other heightened Coast Guard measures, critics still see the nation's 361 ports as vulnerable. There are reports that Osama bin Laden has utilized cargo ships to move weapons and men. Right now, only 2% of containers on board cargo ships are screened.
Our ports are a gaping hole in our national security and one of our most vulnerable points of attack.
Senator Schumer wants all containers screened, which would cost $5 billion. Even the new sea marshals admit patrolling the ports is an oversized job.
But you gotta make the best with what you got. Right now, we're doing pretty good.
But that may not be good enough, especially with port travel expected to double in the next 2 decades, making it even harder to keep the seas completely safe from terrorism. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Long Beach, California.
On the Weather Watch, out with the old, in with the cold. Frigid weather swept through the plains, the Midwest, and the Northeast. And in Buffalo, New York, they lifted the travel restrictions imposed after the record 7-foot snowfall that began on Christmas Eve. Another foot could fall by tomorrow. Snow or no snow, the Olympic torch is traveling to Buffalo for New Year's Eve after a stop in Rochester, New York. Just ahead in the CBS Evening News, the veil is lifted after years of Taliban suppression of women's rights.
Seeing is believing. That's what witnesses to Publishers Clearinghouse winning moments say.
It's really true. From now on, I'm a believer.
But why be just a witness when you can win $10 million Super Bowl Sunday? Watch your mail or go to PCH.com and enter.
Thinking about Viagra? It's now available in a free 6-pill sample pack.
6? That's my number.
So get in the driver's seat and ask about the free Viagra sample pack.
Get to your doctor for a checkup and find out if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
For more information, race over to Viagra.com.
The more you live, the more you love, the more you laugh. The more a bladder control issue shouldn't hold you back. Discover new Serenity Slender. A breakthrough creates 3 layers of protection. The core of super absorbers keeps you drier in our thinnest design ever. Even the leading maxi doesn't come close to letting you feel this free. New Serenity Slender. More protection, less pad. Now that's more you.
If your pencils look like mine did, there's something you can do. Ask your doctor if the Nicotrol inhaler is right for you. Or for more information, call 1-800-INHALER. Call today.
Ask your doctor about Celebrex.
Malox Max challenges Mylanta Supreme. Who neutralizes more acid? Malox Max relieves pressure and bloating. Malox Max comes in more great flavors. Malox Max. 3 ways the right choice is Malox Max. Agree or it's free.
September 11th changed so much in America. From the heartland to New York City. From how we travel to the way we defend ourselves and deal with terrorism. Tomorrow, we'll examine all this and more in a special Eye on America series, The Year We Changed, on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
The new year is a herald of hope for many people, bringing prospects and dreams of new opportunities. And that may be especially true for the women of Afghanistan in 2002, as Elizabeth Palmer reports from Kabul.
In the month and a half since the Taliban fled, this scarred city has been in limbo. No longer at war, but not at peace either, with armed soldiers patrolling the streets and women still afraid to take off their burqas. But now, slowly, there are signs of a new era. Recently, these women answered a public appeal for female workers to return to government offices and institutions.
How many of you had jobs before 1996? All of you.
They did go to sign up for the jobs they had before the Taliban forced them to quit and stay home. Rita Naqib has already shed her burqa. She's back on the job, anchoring the 7 o'clock news on Afghan TV. This is the station that broadcasts the appeal for women to return to work.
I'm very happy and I feel life is enjoyable now for me. And now I think I begin my life again.
Over at the National Gallery, life is also returning to these oil paintings. Last year, the Taliban came here looking to destroy any art which depicted living things. So Yusuf Asifi saved these pictures by disguising all the animals and people with watercolor. He's revealing what he calls his gift to the Afghan people, the original paintings intact.
More than 20 years of war have bruised people's hopes, but not buried them. Finally, Afghans are starting to turn away from the violent past to place tentative bets on the future. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, Kabul.
Pope John Paul at a New Year's Eve Thanksgiving celebration at the Vatican and spoke candidly about his mortality. The Pope, now 81 years old and ailing, said, and I quote, "I ask God for the strength to carry on as long as he wants me to." John Paul has been spiritual leader of the world's Roman Catholics for nearly a quarter century. Just ahead in the CBS Evening News, the Star-Spangled Banner at Buckingham Palace and other signs of Europe's support in the year we changed.
have asthma. I also have a family. And carpool. And play dates. And 24 kids. Look, I might have asthma, but I also have a life.
Singulair helps you control your asthma. Singulair is different from many daily inhaled controllers. It's not a steroid, and it's a once-a-day tablet that can help control asthma for a full 24 hours. It also comes in a cherry chewable tablet for children 2 years and older. Singulair should not be used to treat acute asthma attacks. Continue taking your other asthma medicines unless your doctor tells you to stop or change the dose. If symptoms get worse, contact your doctor at once. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, flu, runny nose, and ear infection. For more information about Singulair, ask your doctor and ask about adding once-a-day Singulair. Singulair, asthma control that can help you breathe easier.
After 26 years of marriage, Tom and I realized we're a little different from each other. We do everything together, but each in our own way. Except for one thing. For aspirin therapy, our doctor says we should both take the same dose, a single 81 milligram St. Joseph aspirin. The dosage doctors recommend most for aspirin therapy, because too much aspirin just isn't a good idea. For anybody, St. Joseph aspirin. Trust it with all your heart.
Ooh, tough day.
Yeah.
What you eating?
Beef noodle soup.
Condensed soup? I used to eat that too, back when I played with dolls. You're an adult now. There's a better tasting soup. New Progresso beef and mushroom has big chunks of tender steak, portobello mushrooms, pasta, and hearty vegetables, all with just the right seasonings. See the difference?
This is better.
See? And how about that tie?
It's time to go to the better taste of Progresso.
The Bush administration moved today to freeze assets of 6 more groups with alleged ties to terrorism. They include Protestant and Catholic organizations in Northern Ireland and one group in Spain. The U.S. action came a few days after the European Union ordered a money crackdown on these same groups. The September 11th terror attack shook the U.S. to its foundation and unified all Americans. But tonight, in our special Eye on America series, The Year We Changed, Lee Cowan reports the attack also brought Europeans together to mourn this country's loss and support its cause.
An unprecedented attack begged for an unprecedented response. And the world over, that's what it got. America's national anthem echoed through Great Britain's national cathedral. And it blared from behind the gates of Buckingham Palace. All across Europe, from Paris to Brussels, Lockerbie to Lisbon, the events of one single day produced a single reaction to turn tears into resolve.
We therefore here in Britain stand shoulder to shoulder with our American friends in this hour of tragedy.
And they stood on the streets too.
One's initial reaction is to just go and nail the bastards.
And the U.S. did, with the support of NATO, which for the first time in its history invoked the article which demands that an attack on one member nation is an attack on all. In fact, 120 citizens from 26 countries were killed in the attacks. And here in this London square nicknamed Little America, all of them were honored, especially the 78 British citizens who died. Since September 11th, U.S. Ambassador William Farish has seen European borders dissolve.
The pulling together of the coalition has been remarkable. I think it's going to carry forward, and thank heavens that it is.
Already, tough new anti-terror laws have been adopted in Britain, and others have been proposed all over Europe. Hundreds of terror suspects have been detained, and under a new proposal adopted by the European Union, suspects can now be arrested and extradited across borders of any member state.
It took events that were extraordinary and horrific, I think, to give that impulse which ensured that leaders took the decisions they had to get there.
But in the coalition's success, he says, lies a lesson.
However big you are, even if you're Gulliver, you can't do everything on your own. I think America will be more popular and will be able to give stronger leadership if it does recognize that from time to time it has to listen to other people.
There's a relief in this part of the world that so far America has listened, and the hope is that it will continue to do so.
There were a lot of fears of sort of unilateral action or that there would be isolationists, and, clearly it is not.
If Osama bin Laden's intention had been to isolate the U.S. from the global community, that part of his mission failed.
Jack Kennedy famously went to Berlin and said, we're Berliners. But I think with September 11, a lot of Europeans said, well, we're Americans.
The event that tore the hearts of a nation apart has brought a continent together. There may never be a single foreign policy, but there now seems at least a single global goal. Lee Cowan, CBS News, London.
Dear Aleve, my back pain got so bad it was tough to get out of bed. Every pain reliever I tried quit too soon. And I even asked my doctor about surgery. Thankfully, my daughter told me about Aleve. And now pain can't get in the way of the things I love to do.
Aleve can stop pain all day with just 2 pills. That would take 8 Tylenol.
My pain's gone and there's no stopping me now. Thanks, Aleve.
Aleve, all day strong, all day long. And for all day sinus relief with the strength of Aleve, try Aleve Cold and Sinus.
Chilly nights at the firehouse mean heartburn and gas. These don't have the medicine to relieve both, but Gas X with Maalox does, combining the heartburn relief of Maalox with the power of Gas X to beat the burn and the bloat fast.
Super Bowl Sunday, in a special live broadcast, Publishers Clearinghouse will surprise someone with $10 million.
Oh my Lord.
Watch your mail or go to pch.com. Enter, and the winner could be you.
If you've had a heart attack or a stroke, the last thing you need is another one sneaking up on you. After all, you've got better things to do. I know. In my case, I had a heart attack. Then I heard about Plavix, so I asked my doctor. He told me Plavix is a prescription pill that can help protect you from a heart attack or stroke if you've recently had one, or if you have poor circulation in the legs causing pain.
Plavix is proven to help keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots, which helps keep your blood flowing. This can help protect you from another heart attack or stroke. If you have a medical condition that is causing bleeding, such as a stomach ulcer, you should not use Plavix. Side effects include itching, rash, diarrhea, and bruising. Additional rare but serious side effects could occur. Ask your doctor.
Taking Plavix once a day helps protect me.
Find out if Plavix can help protect you from another heart attack or stroke.
More soldiers are being deployed from Fort Campbell to help fight in Operation Enduring Freedom. We'll have a live report from Fort Campbell coming up tonight at 6 o'clock.
So the minutes tick away for 2001, and we come now to the end of our final broadcast of the CBS Evening News for this year. But there is more CBS News ahead. Here's a look at what's coming up later tonight on a New Year's Eve edition of 48 Hours.
If a television news crew wanted to tell your life story, what would you say?
I'm from CBS News.
What if you had a mummy in your garage for more than 30 years?
Straight up in that box.
Would you tell us that? Everybody has a story. 48 Hours tonight.
48 Hours tonight at 10, 9 Central Time. I'm Russ Mitchell in New York. For Dan Rather and all of us at CBS News, have a safe, happy, and peaceful New Year. We leave you now with bell-ringing ceremonies here in New York City this evening to honor those who died in the attack on America.
This is CBS.
From your news and information leader, this is News Channel 5 at 6 with Chris Clark and Vicki Yates.
Good evening, everybody. Soldiers from the 101st Airborne at Fort Campbell will start their new year in Afghanistan.
Many of them are heading to Kandahar to join the fight in the war on terrorism. News Channel 5's Dana Kay was the first to tell you about this deployment. She is live tonight at the Post. Dana, when will the troops be leaving?
Well, Amy, we're not getting too many details. We do know a little bit more about the mission the soldiers are going to be going on and where they'll be going. But all of that doesn't really matter to the soldiers here. The only thing that matters to them is that since September 11th, they've been ready to go. Fort Campbell soldiers have trained for it.
Lower yourself down and go!
Now they'll finally get the chance to put all of that training into practice.
It's exciting, I guess.
getting a chance to go finally do what we're supposed to be doing.
Well, I think anyone who joins the Army, that's what most people join.